How about this piece of red meat thrown out by my buddy, NFL Media Group's Ian Rappaport today?
Man, I saw that this morning. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you texted that to the chain this
AM.
AM.
Oh, baby.
That's how I learned about it. You sent me the text. Ian saying that the Niners have received inquiries from several teams looking into a potential trade for former number 3 pick, Trey Lance. Conversations have been the result of San Francisco fielding the calls, not making them, with teams aware that Brock Purdy is likely the future starter. We're just answering the phone, guys.
Yeah, the phone's ringing and we're picking it up.
Like, I've got my phone here. Right now, I'm unavailable because I'm hosting this show. But when I'm not hosting the show, if the phone rings, I'll answer.
You took like 8 phone calls this morning.
I did. My phone didn't stop ringing this morning.
It was ridiculous.
I know. I know.
But you love to talk on the phone.
But I was just fielding them.
You were just fielding. You didn't make the call?
I didn't make them.
Call came, you answered.
That's what I do.
You hit the green. You hit the green.
What
phone.
am I supposed to do if the phone rings? I'm going to let it keep ringing.
Send them to voicemail.
Not at all.
You could do what you do, and I call and just send me the voicemail.
Oh.
I could do that.
Oh, that's so unfair. Well, not if I'm trying to make a trade.
Wow.
In that case, you don't actually send the trade through. But that's
I don't know.
that's
The
a whole
Niners
nother
really
story.
looking to make a trade? Because I read this and I thought to myself, you know what? If there's any team in the National Football League of all 32, if I had to rank them 1 through 32, which team would be at the very top of the list about holding on to every quarterback asset you have because you have no idea how valuable they might be when you need them? Number 1 on that list would be the San Francisco 49ers. At this point last year, Jimmy Garoppolo had his bags packed. They were packed. The code red had been pulled. He was ready to go. He was gone. He said goodbye.
See ya.
The team going into the draft was like, we'd trade you right now, but you got surgery on your shoulder. And then, yeah, all right, you're still around. We'll give you. We don't. I mean, you want a playbook? You don't need it. We're creating a new. We're plumbing the depths of the depth chart. We're creating number 4 on the list when the training camp opens. And then by the end of training camp, they're all like passing him a note in class. Do you still like us? Check this box. And he checked it. And he put the team on his back when Trey Lance gets carted off in week 2. I mean, I could tell you, and of course, he goes down, and the kid that they draft with the last pick in the draft becomes the hot quarterback of the moment, to the point where in just 1/3 of a season, he does enough to merit a nomination for Rookie of the Year. And they're now fielding calls based on that short window of a performance by Brock Purdy. And Purdy still probably has his arm and icing it down, his elbow.
Yeah. Not good.
He just got wing surgery. So the Niners are going to flip Lance. Why? Because Sam Darnold is so reliable health-wise? And they just got him? They love him so much that they're willing. Take Trey Lance. I saw that. I'm like, why? What the hell? Well, a lot of teams are figuring, okay, Purdy's going to be fine. And you like Sam Darnold. We know that. He'll fit. We know you'll turn him into somebody terrific. So is Lance available? And I thought to myself, but which team would take Lance now? Which team would flip draft capital 8 days from now? I doubt it's a first rounder. 9 days from now? 10 days from now? For Lance now. When there's all these kids in the draft that you can get that would have 5 years of contractual control, not the 3 that Lance has left, this one and then 2 more, including that 5th-year option if you pick it up. I'm like sitting, who would do that? That the Niners would absolutely say, you know what? We got one guy who did it for 1/3 of a year. We saw enough, though, to believe that he's the guy moving forward. But we'll flip you our number 3 overall pick from 2 years ago and leave Sam Darnold as the only healthy guy on the roster, and that's a guy who couldn't even make it through last year's preseason healthy. Well, we'll just, you take Lance. Because we don't need quarterbacks around here because Look what happened last year. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. We played Josh Johnson in a playoff game for the right to go play in the Super Bowl. It just, none of it made sense. But there's one team that jumped out at me that might do it now.
The Jets?
No.
Oh.
No. The team that says that they're not interested in maybe taking a quarterback second overall.
Oh.
That just hired a coach from San Francisco.
Oh.
Okay, Rich
Now,
Eisen.
I'm just saying.
Investigative
I'm not saying they're going to use the 2 or the 12 in this year's first round to do it. Although the Niners would probably say, if you want us to, again, we know all about, we're still wearing the scars last year of injured quarterbacks turning and how next man up quarterbacking became our MO, that we're willing to thin our depths with one guy already hurt significantly enough that required surgery on his throwing elbow, that we'll thin our ranks now. It might cost you one. It might cost you one. And if it's the 12th overall pick, hey, that was Deshaun Watson. We'll turn Deshaun Watson into Trey Lance, and we'll choose Will Anderson too, and we'll go to work. Or you choose those first round picks and you flip a high 2 to them for them, or I don't know. I don't know what it would be or why they would do that when they could just get one of the kids not named, I guess, Bryce Young or not named C.J. Stroud and get 5 years of contractual control. Maybe you're thinking, okay, we'll get Lance instead for a 2 or for a second round pick, maybe a third round. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Who would be the one to do it before the draft? It might not even be the Texans, because if they say, let's just say they love Bryce Young and they hear C.J. Stroud's name going to the Panthers first, well, that trade would be off the table. We'll just take Bryce Young. Thanks for the conversation. And D'Amico Ryans would maybe call up Trey Lance and say, hey, we were interested in you. Good luck. Staying put. I can't otherwise think of anybody else that would, prior to the draft and seeing how it all plays out, would flip a pick for Lance now before the draft. This could all be just due diligence in case the draft falls and they don't get somebody that they want, to see how available Lance may be. And this entire time, again, to bring it all to a fine point, they were just taking calls. They were taking calls. They're not making. What a big difference one letter makes. The M, you're making. The T, you're taking. One is, hey, I'm just taking. The other one is, no, I'm making. Big difference. That was a very electric company way of breaking it all down.
Well done, Rich.
Thank you. Or is it Sesame Street? Either way, it's all child's play. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.